Hey, welcome to Definite Fiction. This video is part one of a three-part Premier League Scorebug tutorial. In this first part, we're going to create a Scorebug in Microsoft Excel. In part two, we will write a few macros and set up some buttons to make it easier to control the Scorebug. And then we will bring that Scorebug into OBS. In part three, we'll tackle creating a timer that ticks up. This will involve writing some slightly more complex macros. I will make those macros available and the final spreadsheet available in case you don't want to write the macros out on your own. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you learned something by the end of this video, please hit the thumbs up. Okay, so for creating the Scorebug, we are going to start by going to File, then Save As, selecting a folder, and giving the file a name. We'll use Premier League Scorebug 1. In the Save As Type dropdown, select Excel macro enabled workbook. This will help prepare the Scorebug for parts 2 and 3 in advance. The first thing you need to do is create a green section of the spreadsheet where our Scorebug will be. Select columns A through H and rows 1 through 7. Then from the color fill menu, select green. Using the cells below the Scorebug area, we're going to set up fields for the data elements that will go into the Scorebug. We need a field for the home team, one for the away team, the half, a timer field, a minute field, and a second field. For home and away, we need a column to enter the team names. For this part one, we'll use CHE for Chelsea and MCI for Manchester City. And then we need a column to record each team's score. Next, we will insert a rounded rectangle to display the home team name. We're going to set the outline to no outline. We're going to select a dark blue from the color fill dropdown for Chelsea. To figure out the scale of things, we need to bring in a reference image. From the Insert tab, select Insert, Pictures, Place Over Cell. I'm going to bring that image in along with the Premier League logo. This Scorebug image has 6 different versions. Most of these have a transparency gradient. So we're going to use one in the bottom left. With the image selected, we'll click on Crop from the Picture Format tab and crop the image close to the edges of the Scorebug. Click Crop again to hide the cropped portion of the image. Now we can position the Scorebug reference image. Because we added the image after inserting the Chelsea rectangle, we'll need to select the rectangle and bring it to the front. Now we can drag the rectangle on top of the Scorebug reference and resize the rectangle to match the home team area in the reference. Once we're happy with the size, we're going to hold down Control and press C to copy it and Control V to paste the copy. This will be the away team rectangle. For Manchester City, we're going to select a light blue fill for the rectangle. Now we will work on getting the logo cropped, resized, and positioned. We need to crop out the text and then bring the lion's head to the front. Next, we will resize it to get as close as possible to the reference. On the picture format tab, we can make fine adjustments to the size of the logo. Maybe a little bigger. That looks about right. Now we need to add the white border around the outside of the logo. We'll do that using the glow effect. Hover over the glow and then select glow options at the bottom. Here we're going to change the color to white and drag the transparency slider down to 0%. A 2-point size for the effect looks good. You can see some of the green background showing through the lion's face. To deal with that, we're going to add an oval. We're going to get it to the right size to cover the lion's face. Now remove the outline and select white as the fill color. We can position the oval and then use the rotation tool at the top of the selected oval to rotate it. Once it is covering all of the green, we'll send it backward. Now with the oval still selected, hold down Control and click the lion to add it to the selection. Next, we'll right-click over the selected images, hover over Group, and then select Group. Now the logo and the oval will move together. The next element we want to add to the Scorebug is the white parallelogram shape that you can see over the home team rectangle in the reference. For this tutorial, we're going to color it the same purple color as the lion's head. Go to Insert, then Shapes, and then select the parallelogram under Basic Shapes. Left click and drag to add and resize the shape. We will be able to resize it above the reference image. First, though, we can see that the angle is going in the wrong direction. We can click and hold one of the corner controls, drag it to the other side to flip the image. I'm going to remove the outline now. If we resize it now, we'll lose the ability to adjust the slope of the sides. So with the shape slightly larger, where we can see the yellow control circle, click and drag to the left until the angle is about right. Once that's done, we can resize the shape. Because the team shapes are 0.4 inches tall, we want this shape to be 0.2 inches tall. Once we have the width adjusted based on the reference, we can then position it above our Scorebug elements. Now we need to change the fill color to that purple. I used the eyedropper tool in Microsoft Paint to determine the RGB values for the lion's head. We'll enter 61 for red, 25 for green, and 91 for blue. With the parallelogram selected, Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste. We will position the copy below the original. We can use the center of the two team rectangles to line up the parallelograms. With those in place, we can see that the Man City rectangle is slightly low. We can use the arrow keys to finally adjust its position along with the position of the parallelogram. Now we need to position these elements in the center of the green area. Select a shape and then hold down Control and click on the other three shapes and drag the shapes into position. Once they are approximately in the right position, Use the arrow keys to finally adjust the horizontal position to be between columns E and F. We're going to add one more shape to the Scorebug for where we'll add the half field in part 2 of this tutorial and the time in part 3. We will copy the away team rectangle and paste it. We're going to resize the width so that it is narrower than the parallelograms. We need to send it to the back and then change the fill to the purple color. We will get the lion's head positioned, and we need to bring it to the front. We can just kind of eyeball the position based on the reference. And with that in place, we can see that the future timer area needs to be lowered a bit. Now it's time to add the team names. Under the Insert tab, click Text, then Text Box. Click on the spreadsheet, and then on the formula bar, enter equals, and then click the cell for the home team name, CHE. With that added, we're going to format the team name to get close to the reference image. After a lot of testing, I eventually arrived at Source Sans Pro Black for a decent approximation of the Premier League font. Placing the text box over the reference image, we can resize the font to something close. The font is already bold, so pressing the bold doesn't do anything. 32 point font looks good above the reference, but when we place it above our Scorebug, it looks a little big, so we can resize that down to 28 point. Once we get that positioned, we need to change the font color to white. Next, we will repeat the process for the away team. Insert the text box, and then in the formula bar, set it equal to the away team name. For formatting this text box, we're going to use the paintbrush tool on the home tab. With the CHE text box selected, click the paintbrush and then click the MCI text box. We'll position it above the Scorebug using the arrow keys for fine adjustments to the positioning. Now we can change a team's name by entering the name in the cells below the Scorebug. So MUN for Manchester United, or switch it back. The final elements we need to add are the text boxes for the scores. Insert a text box and set the formula bar equal to the home team score cell. We need to add values to the score cells. Let's see, now we're going to format the text box using the same white font color and Source Sans Pro Black font. The score is going to be larger than the font for the team names. We can position the home team score in place and adjust the size. For the away score, we're going to copy and paste the home score. We'll get that positioned in the right place. I want to adjust the position and width of the parallelograms to better fit with the scores. Okay, so once we're happy with the positioning, we need to change the formula bar to point to the away score. And as you can see, when we do that, the formatting will go away. All we need to do is use the paintbrush tool to copy the formatting from the home score and paste that to the away score. That's basically it. Sometimes it can be a challenge to select the right element you might want to adjust. You can use tab to cycle through the elements. If you want to make the parallelograms wider, we can. With everything in place, you can now add goals in the cells below the Scorebug. If you want to change the team name, type the new abbreviation in the correct cell. Then you can tab through the elements until you select the right team background, change the fill color, and you are done. All right, well, thanks for watching this part 1. In part 2, we're going to build on this Scorebug by writing a few simple macros and adding buttons to make it easier to adjust the scores. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe.